Hello again. It's great to be here with you. A few days ago, someone said to me something about the soundtrack of our lives, and I know many of you probably heard that music that sort of goes along with your life. And I suppose it's not surprising that a good portion of my soundtrack are hymns, things I grew up on, playing for church so much. We all have challenges. Life has its challenges. We all have our own issues. I'm particularly prone to insecurity and depression. And if you think those are the only two, I only have a few minutes here. But a few days ago, it just wasn't great. Things weren't going quite like I wanted. Nothing huge, just, an opportunity to get together with friends didn't come through, and an idea I had about a service wasn't quite working to suit me, and a lot of little things, and then I had a night where I couldn't sleep well, and that always aggravates me, and then there's this new anxiety that's coming from nowhere. That's new and so much fun. So there was all this stuff rolling around inside of me and just keeping me all lost, for lack of a better word. And while I was flailing, it was like God turned on my soundtrack, and to big surprise, a hymn. Now, recently I wrote an article for E! News talking about God's encouragement, and that's kind of exactly what happened. In my head, I was hearing that great hymn, How Firm a Foundation, and rolling those words through my head. This hymn has a great history. I maybe should share that with you some other time, but right now I just want to share some of the things about that hymn that were life-changing in a way, because it calmed me down. It set me on the right path. It gave me the what I needed for that moment. There's 7 stanzas. We only have 5 in our hymnal. Really only 6 are ever sung much anymore. But it's very interesting because each stanza is incredibly rich. There's we should tell John Wayne there's a lot of sermons in this one hymn. But how firm a foundation, you saints of the Lord, is laid for your faith in His excellent word. And it goes all the way through the Bible. There's passages in that hymn from Matthew, Luke, Hebrews, Psalms, Isaiah, and they continue to tell us the things that we need day to day. Like He is a foundation. He's never going to pass away, from the passage in Luke. That we can flee to Jesus for our refuge. When things aren't going so great and we feel like we just need escape from it all, Jesus is there for us. That we have nothing to fear. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I let fear get the best of me. From Isaiah, that God is going to be there. He will strengthen and help His people. And we sing the verse about the deep waters, and I don't know about you, but there have been some times when I felt like I was just kind of drowning in those deep waters, and that He is going to be with us. He will be with us, from Matthew 28. His promised grace is enough for us, Isaiah 43. And that even though we're going through these trials, He will purify us like gold, from 1 Peter. Then the longer the child of God lives on the earth, the more convinced he becomes of God's sovereign, eternal, unchangeable love, from Romans 8, which also reminds me of another great hymn, The Longer I Serve Him, the sweeter He grows. So all of these things begin to roll around in my head, all of these hymn lyrics, and it was like everything began to change. The air seemed lighter, the room seemed brighter, the future seemed less overwhelming. God felt closer. He felt more real, if that makes sense, that He was right there in the room with me. And I heard Him saying to me, Craig, you're worthy, you're strong, you are mine, and you'll see every circumstance and problem through to the end. I am here and I am with you. Trust and fear not. So my encouragement to you is to still listen for God and His encouragement to you. And sometimes we think about the hymns as those things that we just come in and sing 3 of on a Sunday morning and move on about the rest of our day. But I would encourage you to maybe open a hymnal sometime and explore what those hymns really have to tell us and the way that God speaks to us through those hymns. I hope you have a great day.